Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ujola, and for Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode, I want us to talk about being smart, all right? Being smart and leveraging smartness. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. The smartest people in the world are those who find smart people to ask what they don't know. The smartest people in the world are those who find smart people to ask what they don't know. So, let us sit with you for a moment. I want you to listen to what I just say, and I want you to cut through every lie that you've been told that you have to know it all. I want it to dismantle the pride that whispers that you are not smart if you ask questions. I want it to silence the ego that tells you if you don't have the answers, maybe you are failing. The truth is, the greatest minds on earth, God knows, I've read and I'm still reading. The greatest minds on earth became great, not because they knew everything, but because they did not pretend that they know everything. Let me repeat that. The greatest minds that you will ever meet, the greatest mind that has ever graced this beautiful part of the universe called the earth, became great, not because they knew everything, but because they did not pretend that they do know everything. They stayed curious, all right? They have a student's mind. They have the apprentice spirit. They stayed open, and they mastered the art of asking curiosity-based questions. See, you need to accept this. Knowledge is not stored in one person. No matter how brilliant you are, you will always be limited. That is the human condition. No matter how brilliant you think you are, you will always be limited. You can have insight, all right? You can have wisdom. You can even have genius in one area of your life, but no one knows it all. We live in a world that is filled with oceans and oceans of information, shifting realities and layers of specialized field. There is no badge of honor for pretending to be the expert in everything. There is none. The real genius is the person who learns how to access wisdom from other people. And you access those type of wisdoms by asking, by reaching out, by listening, by showing up with questions instead of assumptions. It is not a weakness, all right? It is a strategy. It is not a weakness, it is a strategy. Let me tell you something. Most people don't stay ignorant because of lack of access. They stay ignorant because of pride. The pride that whispers to them that you should already know that. The pride that whispers to them that don't ask, you will look foolish. The pride that whispers to them that they will think you are slow. The pride that whispers, fake it till you make it. But let's be real. Faking it only delays making it. Do you understand me? Pride builds walls between you and wisdom. And the longer you pretend, the longer you stay stuck. See, I've seen people miss out on opportunities, not because they were not capable, but because they were too proud to ask for help. Being smart is not about showing off your IQ. It is about knowing what you don't know, and then you make moves to fill that gap. Do you understand me? You don't get points for struggling alone. You don't at all. See, I know this one is tough, especially for leaders, for achievers, for strivers, for high performers, for people that are striving for independence in one area or another. We've been trained to value self-reliance so much that we confuse independence with isolation. Let me tell you this. There are no extra points for struggling in silence. There are none. There is no medal for burning out by yourself. There is no reward for figuring it out all alone. See, the smartest people leverage other people's strengths. They are not threatened by what others know. No, they are not insecure around someone who knows more than them in an area. Instead, they are hungry. All right? They lean in, they ask questions, they write things down, they say, teach me that. They say, I don't know, can you help me? And as a result, they move faster, they build more, all right? They get stronger. Why? Because they are not trying to reinvent the wheel. They are learning from those who have already built the wheel. See, you know what separates students who truly learn from those who just memorize? It is the questions they ask during the lecture. It is the questions they ask. Asking questions doesn't make you weak. It makes you sharp, all right? It means you are paying attention. It means you are seeking clarity. You are not just seeking applause. You are seeking clarity. You want to grow faster in your business? Ask better questions. You want to deepen your relationships? Ask better questions. You want to become a better version of yourself? Ask better questions. Not, how do I look, but how can I improve? You're not asking questions like, am I doing okay? No, but you're asking questions like, where am I blind to something that is important? Asking the right question can save you months or even years of frustration. Smart people know this. They know that they are part of a bigger puzzle. The smartest people in the world understand they are not the whole picture. They are just one piece. Do you understand me? They are just one piece. They've mastered their edge. They've mastered their skill. They've mastered their strength. But they respect that. They respect the fact that other pieces exist. And they don't. And what do? They go looking for the other pieces so that they become whole eventually. You'll often hear what class performers say something like, I have a great mentor. I work with an amazing coach. I asked my team. I read this book. I read that book. I listened to that podcast. I listened to this audiobook. And it challenged their assumptions. They say, I read this book and it challenged my assumptions. I read that book and I changed my mind concerning this. That is what we'll hear them say. They don't pretend to be the sum total of knowledge. No. They collect insight like currency. They are rich in wisdom, not because they were born with it, but because they were humble enough to pursue it. See, ego is expensive. Let me just speak plainly here. Ego is expensive. It will cost you time. It will cost you relationships. It will cost you your growth. It will cost you opportunities. Why? Because ego makes you unteachable. And the moment you stop being teachable is the same moment your mind starts shrinking. You can still look impressive on the outside, right? But you might still be admired by people, right? But inside, you are shrinking. So don't let your pride convince you that asking a question or asking for help will make you look small. The truth is, asking questions makes you bigger, all right? Bigger in wisdom, bigger in perspective, bigger in capacity. See, you don't have to be an expert or the expert to lead a team or to lead in life. That is something that few people know. You don't have to know everything to lead well. Leadership is not about having all the answers. It's about knowing where to find them. It's about gathering smart people around you and creating an environment where wisdom can flow. It's about saying, I'm not here, let us ask. I'm not sure, rather, let me ask. It is about acknowledging gaps, not pretending they don't exist. When you do that, you build credibility. People respect honesty more than performance. They would rather follow a real learner than a fake genius. Because curiosity will keep you evolving. You want to stay sharp in this world that is changing every minute, every second, then don't just work harder. Stay curious. Curiosity will drive you to read books. It will drive you to podcasts. Will drive you to mentors, to articles, to workshops, even YouTube tutorials. And not because you are smart, or not because you are not smart, but because you know you are smart enough to keep learning. Every time you ask a question, you position yourself to become more. You become more. Curiosity is what keeps a 70-year-old person innovating. It is what keeps a leader relevant. It is what turns a mistake into a masterclass. See, you have to find people who think differently than you. Don't just find smart people who agree with you. Find smart people who stretch you, who disagree with you constructively, people who see what you cannot see, people who challenge your assumptions, people who speak a different language, intellectually, culturally, spiritually, technically. Sometimes the best question you can ask is not who knows what I know, but who knows what I don't even know I need to know. It's not about echo chambers. It's about expanding your range and your horizon and your mindset. The moment you only surround yourself with people who think like you, you stop growing. You start recycling your insight instead of expanding it. Being smart is not always about being right. All right, let me tie this up. It's not about being the loudest or the fastest. Being smart is about knowing. It's about how you position yourself to learn. It's a posture, a hunger, a lifestyle. You want to be. If you want to be one of those people,